What is going on? I'm zmoT. Today we're going to skip the warships. We're going to do some war factory. Now, do stick around because we're going to try to do a Boomtown solo at the end just to try and mix in a little bit of more of the main base goodness, simply because we've got Scorcher Life Leech on the max level account. Anyways, let's have a look. We are on, as you can see, back in here. If I can find my headquarters, wherever the heck I may have put it, should be fairly, oh, there it is right there. My headquarters is level 17. We're going to have a look, see if we can't take down this war factory. Spoiler alert, I assume we can. That grappler is going to be super, super helpful. Those zmo's are going to be super, super annoying, as are the flotsams. Might have to do things a little bit differently than this layout typically is done. Going to avoid those zmo's most definitely. The fact that flamethrower is not a laser is fantastic. So we are going to drop Everspark way, way, way over here, and the reason for that is we don't want to deal with that grappler or those zmo's. Now we're going to flare that rocket launcher right there. The fact that Everspark is walking over that way makes me a little bit nervous. We're going to Houdini hack, double hack, just like that, getting 2 of the rocket launchers. How we knew what she was going to hack second was because we marked it with that artillery. Hopefully, marking makes sense to all of you. I know a bunch of you have said Everspark doesn't hack what you want her to. That is user error. She will hack whatever the heck you want as long as you plan things well. So now we're not even going to spend any troops. By all means, do drop some troops. You can get some free gunboat energy on that right-hand side. Why I'm not going to drop troops is just to make it so that if you screw up a little bit, or if you don't have instant training, you can copy this without any difficulty. That zmo wants to get our troops, so we're going to have to stay as wide as we can. I'm going to flare right to there, and then we're going to drop Everspark. Probably could use that Grappler Express, but I don't want to mess with it because it could drop Everspark where you don't want her dropped. Now, there are many boom cannons around here. Should be able to double hack. I'm going to give it a shot. If I fail, you know not to do it. Trying to save you guys some gunboat energy by potentially screwing up on my part. We're going to find out here pretty darn quick. Now, one quick, easy way to make sure so those shock launchers don't ruin your day is you can shock them so they don't shock the buildings around them. Looks like we don't need that to happen on this battle, though. So now we're just going to throw all of our gunboat energy right in here. Now that that's done, going to make sure that I've got Do Not Disturb turned on as all of our artilleries and barrages land. Doing all right. This is looking fairly well set up at this point. 11 GBE to get our next artillery, 16 to get our next barrage. Don't really want to risk our troops, so we're just going to retreat one more time. And if you're wondering why I'm not going to go back there and hack those mortars and sniper towers and stuff, it's just not worth it. We can typically get rid of them with artillery and barrage because they don't have nearly as much health as shock launchers and rocket launchers do, I don't think. Nonetheless, getting rid of sniper towers. And if you're wondering why the heck I'm getting rid of sniper towers, they shoot about 3 times as fast as boom cannons, so we don't want to mess with that. At this point, we might as well just drop Everspark right about here and hack a building or 2 just to get one. Oops, I see how I flared then push the button? That is not how you do it. That is not the way you do it. Make sure you press the button and then flare, or she's going to target the wrong thing. That is another mistake that people make oh so commonly. Kind of hoping that boom cannon's going to help us get rid of that grappler right there. It did pretty darn well. So now we have a little bit extra gunboat energy. We can get rid of that grappler. That grappler is going to be a pain in the backside for our troops because it's going to keep pulling them from that kill zone if we let it. So 3 fairly easy setup attacks, nothing overly difficult there, 0 troops lost. Now we can get rid of this grappler. That will help set things up, setting the table for our troops. I think our artillery, low-level artillery, 8,000 not being able to be done. Uh-oh, I hear a horn happening. There's blasting happening by my house, so I'm hoping that this video is not into... Uh-oh, too many smokes. That was not good. Wasting our gunboat energy, distracted by the blasting horn. Now, we're going to walk right to that corner. I have never walked to this corner on a war factory before. This is not a standard walking path, and the reason for that is that we don't want to mess with all of the zmo's and all of the rocket launchers and things. Also, those flotsams back there. If those flotsams explode, bad things would be happening to our troops. So we're just going to let our critters come out ever so carefully. That hack is going to help us a little bit so that we can keep moving our troops. Whoa, that was something. That was very, very... This is going to be interesting. Sorry, that's the first time we've had blasting by my place. Someone is destroying a huge rock and putting 3 houses where 1 used to be. So, craziness. That was not... I thought that was starting next week, but apparently it's starting today. So now we're just going to keep trying to find a little kill zone over in here, hoping that we can get rid of all of these buildings and not lose all of our troops to flotsams and zmo's and all of the prototypes. So they definitely have made War Factory a little bit harder by mixing in all of the prototypes on the prototype cycle, but we should be able to finish this off, I think. Losing some troops to those zmo's and to those boom cannons, but we've got a huge hole here, and we lost a bunch of troops to this rocket launcher right here. So you might want to hack that front rocket launcher as well, but we're doing all right. Pretty happy with that. Only lost troops on 1 attack, and we've got this core down below half health. So once we lose our next Zooka, you could leave Everspark here indefinitely. She probably could keep scratching and clawing away at that core. Nope, turns out she's going to die. So we wasted a smoke at shore, and now we're at a fantastic spot. And that's why I always hit core on my 4th attack. That way, if you screw things up terribly, you have an extra attack. So next up, we're going to get our Zookas walking through that smoke, using that factory supply crate as our basis of where the heck to put our first smoke, and then we're just going to walk all of our troops back to this corner again. The exact same walk, realizing that our troops are probably going to... There's that one heather always goes out wide, just trying to make things difficult for us. And then we're going to flare back to there to get our Zookas in line with all of our Eversparks. And then we're just going to throw a shock there and a shock there and hope that Everspark can get some critters out. And those should help our troops stay alive a little bit longer. Let's throw one more hack. Do Not Disturb has come out. Let's get all of our troops blowing up the core. Had to cut part of the video out there because, of course, Do Not Disturb turned off at 9 o'clock when the blasting started. But fairly easy War Factory. Just hacking so critical and avoiding those zmo's. But you guys can do that, no problem. Stick around. We will do A max level War Factory, and then B, trying to go for that boom town solo, assuming it's still there. So back in just a second. Okay, we've got Zookas loaded. I think that should work. We're going to bring Bullet because every other hero very likely would die, and then we're just going to walk up and shoot this thing. Now, Warships-wise, this account has just about made it into 17 at the 4 engine room level. My 5 engine room level account has started to win, finally. I will be showing some stuff on that tomorrow. Ish, probably, but nonetheless, let's just get our troops walking and hope that we can somehow solo this using some Zookas and some bullets and all of the things. So, Zookas on the outside, Bullet even farther outside, that way we guarantee we can get all 9 boats. Oh, I just even screwed up. I said guarantee, and then I didn't guarantee. So not the best start for our troops, but I think we should be able to salvage this, maybe. zmo's are going to start blasting at our troops, hopefully targeting Bullet more so than Zookas. And then I'm just going to come back to about here. I honestly don't have a plan for this, but I think Bullet's Shock Knuckles should do some good things for us as we get all of these things just getting absolutely pummeled. So I'm going to shock there and over here, and maybe throw some critters to distract that there grappler, and then hopefully have all our zookas blow up that core. So lots and lots of stuff going on, but we managed to solo it using all zookas and bullets, shock knuckles. That was just ridiculously silly, but still managed to get it down. Should be able to solo most war factories using zookas, especially ones that don't have shield generators. Anyways, let's get to the main event. Or is that like the sideshow? Nonetheless, let's have a look, see if that boom town is still there. Yes, yes it is. Now, why I think this is going to be a boom town solo? There's no shock launchers. No shock launchers means we can get all of these shields, then come back and get that shield. Also, quick note, in case you have been living underneath a rock, we have Scorcher Life Leech, so our Scorchers will be healing themselves. I am going to full boost. I don't want to pass up a Boomtown solo opportunity. Side note, a dude named TB just soloed Cooker. Yes, I said a while back a Cooker solo was going to be coming with the since we got 16 Scorchers. Sure enough, yesterday TB soloed Cooker. So I'm going to try and see if I can get that video, see if I can share that. But big shout out to TB for, I better be TB. If I screwed that up, I apologize. But nonetheless, huge shout out. That is crazy. I am going to go with Taunt, just trying to keep my Scorchers. No, I'm going to use Shock Knuckles. Let's use Shock Knuckles. And let's just go see if we can't solo this Boomtown. So we are going to go something like this. I'm going to get all of my Scorchers over into here, and then I'm going to send them back to there. We're going to maybe smoke once or twice or something, just trying to get our troops back into an orderly position so that we can get all of these types of things down. Let's throw a shock right here, trying to conserve some gunboat energy simply because we don't want to screw things up before we have to. Gonna clear all of these mines. Also gonna clear these mines down here so that when our Scorchers wander a little bit, we don't have to worry about that all that much. Scorchers life leeching like crazy. Look at their health bars. Everyone is super duper healthy. The problem with this is that I can't actually see what the heck we're looking for as far as I think there's still one shield gen in there, maybe. I think we've got all of the rest, so let's get a move on getting the heck away from those darn shock mines. Now our next step is going to be going. Here's the problem. I don't want to leave my task force with a Boomtown that can't be handled, because there's nothing worse than going and getting the shields and then they have to deal with all those rocket launchers. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to smoke past all of these boom cannons right about now. Perfectly timed smoky smokes. And then we're going to gap our smokes because we don't have enough gunboat energy to not gap our smokes. And then we're going to hopefully get right about there, out of the range of those boom cannons, start the burning, and then I need to get over to get the, you know what, I'm just going to ignore all this stuff, and I'm just going to send all of my troops right over to here right now. That's a long way for our Scorchers to go without any sort of healing, but things are cruising along. The number one concern right now is the clock. Need to keep an eye on that clock so badly, because otherwise you're not going to have any time, and there's nothing worse than running out of time on the Boomtown attacks. It happens all the time. So now we're just going to let them burn here. And this is where no shock launchers makes a huge benefit. No shock launchers is absolutely fantastic right now. So now we just need to make sure that we're going to shock that cannon. Should be flaring back to get those shield gens, but I'm kind of okay with my Scorchers wandering a little bit, because that's just going to weaken that core hit a little bit as we get those shields down. Now the main event, as they say. Here's the problem. All of those Scorchers right there, I'm going to back off into here, hoping to get all of my Scorchers away from those shock mines so that we can get all of them going in the same general direction towards that core. 1 minute on the clock is lots and lots of time. Please don't hit that shock mine. Okay, now let's get in, hit this core. Should be able to do all of the damage. Need to get one more shock on those cannons because those are going to do the most damage to our troops. And now I think we have a live boom town solo. I think all the health bars on those scorchers are doing fairly well. There are no shock launchers hitting us. And look at this. We have managed, I think, come on. Bullet is dead. He's lying there in a heap. Knocked out, I suppose, not dead. But look at the health on this boomtown going down for the live called his shot boomtown solo. Pretty excited. That's actually my first boomtown solo. I've soloed Rogue, I've soloed Fang, but I've never soloed boomtown. So that is one off the bucket list. Pretty happy with that. Glad you guys were able to share it with me. Nonetheless, as always, thank you for coming in. It has been a pleasure. Do consider throwing zmoT into your creator code zmoT. Any Supercell game, whether it be Brawl Stars, Clash Royale, Heyday, all of the rest. Doesn't matter if you capitalize it or make the T capitalized as I do. Bonus points from my side if you do. Nonetheless, thanks for being here, keeping me safe during this explosion. Keep booming those beaches. Don't boom my house. I shall talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. I'm zmoT. Peace.